Hey guys, Tera Swigart again here, continuing our lessons for this week, our week in the Word. This week we are talking about the attributes of God, so we're learning all about God. We're learning what He's like so that we know who He is and so that we can get to know Him better. So today, our attribute that we are learning about is that God is omnipresent. What that word means is that God is everywhere at the same time. So our verse for today is Psalm 139, 7 through 10, which reads, I can never escape from your spirit. I can never get away from your presence. If I go up to heaven, you are there. If I go down to the grave, you are there. If I ride the wings of the morning, if I dwell by the farthest oceans, even there your hand will guide me and your strength will support me. So God is everywhere at the same time. The big thing that I really want you to get from this verse is that God is not too busy to hear you and to care about what you're going through. God isn't over here, He's working on these big, really important things that we think are so important. And so He's like, hey, I'll get to you when I can. That's not how God works. God is everywhere at the same time, and He cares about everything. He cares about the details of your life. So nothing that you're going through or that you're dealing with is too small to call on God. In fact, the Bible tells us to pray without ceasing, and He wants us all to do that, and He can be present with each and every one of us. So today, as you think about the fact that God is everywhere, not only remember that He is there with you in that moment, but when you're praying for somebody else, He can be there with them in that moment while you're praying for them. So if you're separated from your family or a friend or something like that, when you're praying for them, God can be there with them while He's with you. And also remember that there is nothing too small and no person that He sees as unimportant. He sees the details of our lives as important, and He sees each and every person as important. I don't care what you've done. I don't care what you haven't done. God cares about you. He wants a relationship with you, and He can be present with you. And there's nowhere you can run from God. There's no way to get away from Him. He said, if I go down to the grave, you're there. If I ride on the wings of the morning, if I dwell by the farthest oceans, even there your hand will guide me. So you may have thought that you've gotten yourself into a place where God is not going to be present with you. You might feel like this is not a place where God would show up. It's too dirty or too bad or too whatever. No, God is there in that place too. And there's no place that you can be that God will not be there with you as well. So think about that today. Remember that God is with you, that He cares about you, and that He cares about the little things in your life. Remember that He's not too busy with something more important, that you are important to Him.